2 men are left wounded after separate stabbings on Queen Street East.
And changes could be coming to Canada's marijuana laws. Humber News starts right now.
Hello, it's Wednesday, April 13th. Welcome to Humber News, coming to you from the Broadcast Center here at the North Campus. I'm Uwais Motella. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Sangeeta Patel. Ahead on our show, we'll have all your news, sports, and entertainment highlights, as well as your 5-day weather forecast. But first, Uwais has our top story.
Toronto police are investigating 2 separate stabbings on Queen Street. The attacks occurred within 2 hours of each other early Wednesday morning in the downtown core. One victim was stabbed around 4 a.m. near Sherbourne Street and rushed to hospital. The second attack happened just after 5:30 a.m. when a man in his 40s was stabbed in the throat in front of the Metropolitan United Church next to St. Michael's Hospital. Police have one man in custody for the first attack, and they asked the public to call Crime Stoppers if they have information on either incident.
An Ontario judge's decision to call medical marijuana programs unconstitutional could result in an overall change to Canada's marijuana laws. The federal government has 90 days to improve the program before the ruling leads to legalization of pot. Humber reporter Miranda Anthistle went to investigate.
Justice Donald Taliano said that doctors have let down those who use marijuana for medicinal purposes. At the center of the ruling is Matt Merna, who suffers from seizures and depression.
I feel absolutely amazed. We worked a long time, over like 3 years, and then 6 months of like daily work, so I'm overwhelmed.
Here at Vapor Central at Yonge and Bloor, where people can rent bongs and smoke marijuana freely, Merna found support from both staff and patrons. Assistant manager Melanie Moat says this ruling is crucial for patients who constantly face challenges finding medical marijuana.
I'd say almost every single person that has tried to seek medical marijuana or advice on it has been shot down by their doctor.
The main issue was that doctors were essentially acting like the gatekeepers to the medicinal marijuana program without having adequate knowledge. And the Canadian Medical Association argues that there is little scientific evidence to support medicinal marijuana's benefits. This is a temporary victory for pot smokers. However, the real test will be whether or not this decision can stand up in the Ontario Court of Appeal. Miranda Anthistle, Humber News.
Reaction to the English language leaders debate is in, and the verdict isn't good. Political commentators say the contest produced no clear winner, and there weren't very many knockout punches scored by any party leader. It has been called the most civil leadership encounter in recent elections. The much-touted one-on-one debate between Liberal leader Michael Ignatieff and Conservative leader Stephen Harper apparently failed to score any points for either one. The Globe and Mail is reporting increased tensions between the NDP and the Bloc Québécois during the debate because strengthening support for the NDP may prove to be a lethal threat to the Bloc. The French-language debate will be broadcast tonight from Ottawa at 8 p.m. Eastern.
The country is still a Twitter over the federal leaders debate. Many Canadians not only tuned in, but went online to see what the leaders face off on hot topics. Humber reporter Arda Zakarian reports on whether Twitter is overshadowing the televised broadcast.
To think we've got to be supporting particularly those vulnerable neighborhoods, and we have that's been a hashtag fail on this issue. Mr. Ignatieff.
From releasing G20 documents to bling and hashtag fails, Twitter was buzzing last night with Canadians commenting on what they heard during the nationally televised debate, so much so that it was the second most trending topic in the world. However, many students at Humber say watching the debates is crucial to making an informed decision rather than just catching up on Twitter.
If you're hearing about it from Twitter or Facebook or any social networks or from your peers, you're not hearing it directly from the horse's mouth, I guess.
I definitely think it's important for young people to watch the debates, especially because the younger generation has so many different concerns than maybe the older generation might.
Gail Gaspar, who teaches politics at Humber, says although social media generates good buzz, nothing compares to reading the leaders' platforms.
I think to really make an informed opinion, you should be going, while leadership debates are one thing, you should be going to their websites and reading through their platforms.
Although last night's debate took up 6 of the 10 trending topics on Twitter in Canada, many students who watch the debate say it's better to witness the debates directly rather than just relying on social media feeds. Because after all, 140 characters might not be enough to have a proper understanding of the debate. Arda Zakarian, Humber News.
The Cancer Advocacy Coalition of Canada is calling on governments to work together to find solutions to what it calls the current crisis in access to cancer care. The group's newest report card on cancer in Canada says approximately 345,000 Canadians were diagnosed with cancer in the past 2 years. It said many face roadblocks in the healthcare system. The report says 40% of women and 45% of men will develop cancer during their lifetime.
New advancements in electronic patient records could mean better healthcare for Canadians. St. Michael's and North York General Hospitals are turning paper medical charts into electronic ones. The hospitals say the move will help avoid medication errors and increase efficiency. In 2010, the Canadian Institute for Health Improvement estimated that these errors affect more than 1 million patients each year and lead to over 700 deaths annually.
Ontario's energy minister says elevated levels of radiation have been detected in the province as a result of the Japanese nuclear disaster. On Tuesday, Brad Dogood said he did not know whether any contamination was in milk or in the air, but the minister insists there will be no impact on human health and it is not something Ontario residents should be overly concerned about. Dogood says Ontario authorities will continue to be vigilant and make sure food and milk are safe.
When we come back, we'll have more news from around the country and the world. Bridget Trong will have the sports news, and we'll have your weather forecast with Tom Yanni.
Today's forecast is cloudy at best. It's going to get better, but then it's going to get a little bit worse. So I'll have the details after the break.